So welcome to the next in our online series of messages brought to you by the folks at the First Congregational Church in Raleigh. This is Reverend Tom Bentley, the pastor, saying Happy New Year and hoping that these messages can help you in the journey in your life, especially for the coming year. If you'd like to know more about First Church Raleigh, there's a little information for you at the end of this video. So thank you for spending time with us. So grace to you and peace from our friend Jesus. We're entering a new year. This message is being offered on the last day of 2022. We're entering a new year, and everywhere we go, all the print media, comments from people, we all wonder about what this new year portends. There is clearly a feeling of foreboding. Things could go in very negative directions. And then there's the hope for some hope. The idea that we can build a future that is more responsive to the deeper needs of so many people within our country, our community, and our little planet. The last few years have been difficult in terms of international conflict, domestic strife, economic decline, and of course COVID, a pandemic across the entire human community. It's been a time of uncertainty, a time of reactionary governance where authoritarian answers seem to be increasingly popular with many people in our international community. So it's a time of challenge. When there's a feeling of insecurity and doubt about all sorts of things, including institutions, even personal relationships, we need guidance. We need to feel protected. We need to affirm our higher values and not feel at risk. This is what happens in times of duress. When great events, momentous events, collide with the lives of individuals and everyone in the community feels undermined, uncertain, we must listen to our inner self and our collective community conversation to gain some sense of direction. We can think of these voices as angelic voices, better angels, if you will. That phrase came to us from the first inaugural address of Abraham Lincoln when he was facing uncertain times as the President of the United States. And he called upon his fellow citizens to be reasonable, to deliberate, and not seek answers in violence and cruelty and lies and deception. At the very end of his speech, he said, I am loath to close. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land will yet swell the chorus of the Union when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature. The better angels of our nature, we need to listen to those voices. We're in this first Sunday in Christmas, and we read the Matthew story when Joseph listened to an angel in a dream, and he fled to Egypt to protect the child Jesus. Let's see what Matthew wrote. When the wise men had gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. Get up, he said. Take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him. So he got up, took the child and his mother during the night, and left for Egypt, where he stayed until the death of Herod. Our human consciousness is filled with voices and thoughts and ideas. How do we sort all of that out so that we can hear the voices of our better angels? How do we identify those guiding voices that are of love and faith and hope, and not hatred, fear, and desperation? What are your better angels that speak to you? I think we sort out these spirits of communication and understanding by asking a simple question, a question that measures and identifies that which is there and that which is not there when we hear these voices, which often come in dreams or as an impulse or as a sense of intuition or something that is seemingly indirect but profound and present nonetheless. Are these voices welling up in you a voice of kindness? Do they speak with a generosity, a compassion? And is there a courageous honesty where fact overwhelms any mistruths that we might embrace in a time of insincerity? When we listen to these voices, we have to see and feel our own vulnerability. Yes, it's a world of threats. Joseph protected the Christ child. He did his job. He went through great turmoil and trouble, so the story goes. And maybe some people would suggest, well, this didn't really happen historically. Some people argue that. I think that's well offset by the idea that every generation of human beings, our brothers and sisters, they listen to those better angels in their nature, and they act on those to push back against injustice and cruelty and lies. That's the hope for 2023, that we will all begin listening to those voices that engage us with love and offer a pathway through the turmoil. Just as the time of Jesus and his birth, there was a great empire or a series of empires warring amongst themselves for power and control, so we have that today. But we're a lot farther along, I think, than 2,000 years ago in so many of the aspects of human community. We have democracy today, we need to protect it. We have equity and the rule of law, which needs to be that umbrella that guides us in our activities. We should not seek some seditious way of overthrowing something we don't like. Lincoln spoke to that in his time and knew it was not the way to go. And we hopefully can push back against that ourselves. And those voices will come to small people, simple people, many times over, countless times over, and those voices will guide us, because I do believe they are really of an angelic nature, offered by the divine creative force of love in the universe, guiding us and sustaining us. So may you be sustained and guided in the coming year. May you weigh what is and is not appropriate to the matter, and will you check to see if it measures up against those rubrics of kindness, of affection and generosity, of compassion, and a courageous honesty. If indeed the voices are measured and found not wanting of any of that, then I suggest seek and you will find, follow and you will discover, and look to the love of God and you will not be let down. You will find a deeper satisfaction there. And I hope for that in the coming year for all of us. So through Jesus, amen and goodbye. So thank you for spending time with us. If you'd like to know more about the First Church Raleigh, you can go online to firstchurchraleigh.org. And of course, we'd always like to hear from you. You can call us anytime at 978-948-3993. So peace and best wishes. Goodbye.